it's Amy, and I'm here today to do a tag that Sam from Sam's Nonsense tagged me in like over a month ago, and that is the Ultimate Book Lovers tag, and I'm really excited to answer these questions, so let's just dive into this tag and all of the questions about loving books. Question number 1 is your top 3 favorite books, and that was really hard for me just because I love a lot of books, and so these are the top 3 books that I have on my shelf. There are other books that I do not own that are also my favorites. So, the top 3 favorite books that are on my shelf. Beyond This Moment by Tamara Alexander. This is the second book in her Timber Ridge Reflections. I definitely recommend this if you love historical fiction and love like the mid-1800s. It's fantastic. Fantastic. Great set of characters. Just amazing. The second book is Prisoner of Azkaban by J.K. Rowling, the third book in the Harry Potter series. And then book number 3 is a new favorite, but it does not mean that it is any less of a favorite. I really love this, and here comes my husband. What do you want? I don't want ice cream right now. I mean, I love ice cream, but I'm making a video. My husband's doing a ice cream dance. He has some ice cream sandwiches. Okay, I'll eat it later, but thank you. Yeah, thanks. Okay. As I was saying before, I was so rudely interrupted. The third book that is on my favorites, my top 3 favorite books, is a new favorite, but it does not mean it's any less of a favorite, and that is Night Shadow by Sebastian de Castell. This is the second book in the Greatcoat series, and this book, oh my goodness, I loved Traitor's Blade, but this book just blew Traitor's Blade out of the water. It was so fantastic, so amazing. So if you have not started the Greatcoat series and you love a good adult fantasy, definitely 18 years or older, definitely recommend picking this book up. Question number 2 is my 3 least favorite books. First book is Jemima J by Jenny B. Jones. This book, the writing was decent. That was the thing, is like the writing was decent, but it just had a horrible representation. The message was show that, you know, if you are overweight, you can never be happy, can never find love, can never find a man that will love you and want you, and the only way that you can fix that is lose all the weight and do that in a very unhealthy way and sell everything that, you know, makes you to be with a man. Terrible book. The second book is We All Looked Up by Tommy Welsh, and I got 2/3 of this way through this book, and I just couldn't do it anymore. It was so bad. The writing was decent, but the characters were awful. I hated every single one of the characters. There was no redeeming factor in this book whatsoever, except the writing was decent. And it just a terrible message to young adults and terrible message to humankind, and it was awful, so no. And the third book it's not the first Princess Diary book, it's actually the very last one, whatever that one was called. It was terrible. It was so bad. Question number 3 is a popular author you love, and I like a lot of popular authors, and I wanted to pick an author that I wasn't going to already be talking about, and the author I chose for that is Sarah Dessen. She's a pretty popular author in the contemporary romance YA community. I really like her writing. I definitely have to say that her books are hit or miss for me. I really either really enjoy them and think they have a great message, or they're just, you know, kind of like, okay, I like it. I definitely recommend Sarah Dessen if you are looking for a good contemporary romance. Question number 4 is a popular author you don't love. Now this was easy because this author is so popular, and I just not a big fan, and that's Sarah J. Maas. I don't think I really have to explain why I don't, because if you love her, you love her. If you don't, you know why I don't love her. So, there we go. Question number 5 is an underrated book you think everyone should read. Now, I talk about this book and this series a lot. I've talked about it a lot, especially in the last few months, because the last book of her series just came out, and that is the Insurrection series by Katie Carter. This is the second book in the series, Incomplete, and I have to say that all of her covers are beautiful. Incomplete is definitely my favorite in the series. I highly recommend this series. Moving on to question number 6, and that is a series you won't finish. A quart of way too many words in this title series. No. Question number 7 is earliest bookish memory, and that would be, I remember getting a subscription to Dr. Seuss, and so every month I would get a new Dr. Seuss book, and I absolutely love Dr. Seuss. I learned to read by reading Dr. Seuss books, so reading was always a huge part in my life, and Dr. Seuss just holds a dear, dear place in my heart. Question number 8 is favorite bookish memory. Oh, favorite bookish memory. I don't know if I have a favorite memory. I just have a lot of good memories of growing up and reading. Moving on to question number 9, and it's your favorite genre to read. And I have to say, this question, the answer changes depending on my mood. I definitely have to say the top 2 that I gravitate towards are contemporary and fantasy. So those are my top 2, but it really does depend on my mood, what my favorite is, or all that. So, okay, question number 10 is my least favorite genre to read, and that would be erotica. I have to say I love romance in books, but any romance that has the characters fleeing for their lives and then somehow they're up against a tree, having fun while they're running for their lives. It's just like, no, that's unrealistic, painful, and just idiotic and just irresponsible. I'm like, you're running for your lives. There's no time for that. There's no time for that. So any erotica is going to have those kind of situations, and I just think, no. I like realistic romance, which most romance books don't really have realistic romance in it, but more realistic than up against a tree running for your lives. Moving on to question number 11, and it's one difficult or important book you are proud to have read. And in college, I don't remember what class it was, but I had to read Dostoevsky's Brothers Karamazov. Okay, moving on to, it's taking way longer than I should. Okay, moving on to question number 12, and it's my favorite childhood book, and I've already talked about Dr. Seuss, so it had to be a Dr. Seuss book, and that is Green Eggs and Ham by Dr. Seuss. This is the first book I remember really reading, and it's one of my favorites. Love this book, and I also absolutely love Sweet Valley Twins and the Babysitter Club books. Those are books that I reread over and over and over again. Question number 13 is your favorite book cover. Really any of the Firebird trilogy books by Claudia Gray, but this one is my favorite just because of the color scheme. It's absolutely beautiful and it's amazing, and if you look close enough into the scenes, you kind of have an idea of where the book is going to take you, and it's beautiful. Question number 14, an ugly book cover. So I don't know what it is about adult fantasy, but the majority of adult fantasy books are terrible. And this one, I think, is one of the worst. I mean, okay, first of all, it kind of gives away some of the plot in the book, and then it's fuzzy. How is it fuzzy? Why is it fuzzy? And it's just ugly, and it's just stupid, and it's just terrible. It's just awful. Like, who thought this was a good idea? No. I mean, this is definitely not the ugliest cover I've ever seen, but it's one of the ugliest covers that I own. Moving on to question number 15, and that is a diverse book recommendation, and I have a couple for you guys. I have one that deals with mental health, and that is Every Last Word by Tamara Ireland Stone. There are some aspects of the story that I don't think were necessary, that the book was fantastic on its own, and had that not been in there, it would have been even better. But overall, I feel like it's a great book if you are looking for one that deals with mental illness. And the second book that I want to recommend is actually really the entire series, and that is To Win or Favor by Tamara Alexander, and this is part of the Belmead Plantation series, and she has another one, the Belmont Mansion series, series. They're both set in Nashville right after the Civil War, and I feel like all of them really represent our history and our diverse history really well. She did an amazing job of researching the way things were handled, the way things were going on, what was going on in the time, and I feel like she does a great job of representing each character well. And for me, it really opened my eyes to more of what our history looked like. It's different than what you typically would say is diverse, and I won't even go into that because it just opens a can of worms. But I feel like if you're looking for an historical fiction novel that really does represent our history well, and it really just gives you a good insight into, you know, where America was and where we've come and how far we have not gone, definitely would recommend Tamara Alexander's historical fiction books. They're fantastic. Tamara. It's not Tamara, it's Tamara. Okay, question number 16, which is the last question, and that is, why do you love to read? And there is just not enough hours in the day to talk about why I love to read. I just love it, and I love that reading is something that has always been a part of my life, and it's something that will always continue to be a part of my life. And it's just fantastic. And reading has brought me to an amazing community that I would not have found otherwise. So grateful for reading and books and all of that. So, okay, so that ends the Ultimate Book Lovers tag. I will tag some people down below, so go check that out to see if I tagged you. If your name is not below and you like these questions and want to do it, then by all means, do it. And thank you again, Sam, for tagging me. Sorry it took me so long to film the video, but you know, that's life. Okay, guys, I am going to go and eat the ice cream that my husband tried to bring me earlier because it is so stinking hot. So stinking hot. So I hope you're having a great reading month, and I will see you on the flip side. Bye! It's so hot. Guys, I hate summer. I just hate it.